Hey everybody, in this video I'm going to give you some quick tips on how to get 3 stars on the trial where you need to damage Hornets in Arc Raiders. So as you can see here, my current score for this is sitting at about 4,500, which is enough to get me those 3 stars as well as all of the rewards. However, I think you could probably get that quite a bit higher, as this was my first attempt using this farming spot that I found. So I'll show that and where that was located, as well as just kind of explain my strategy for getting this done. So starting off, just showing some footage of how you want to take these down. If you've got a heavy ammo weapon like the Pharaoh or Anvil, you can 2-shot them pretty quickly if you focus on their back fans. 1 shot on each one of those should be enough to destroy them, and then they'll just crash down onto the ground. They've got some pretty heavy armor on the front, so hitting them head on isn't really going to do much. Also, their primary attack is to send out a taser-like projectile, which you can avoid pretty easily after some practice. They've got a pretty distinct sound or noise that they make when they shoot, so just wait for that to time your dodge, and you can avoid most of their attacks. Alright, so with that out of the way, moving on to the spot I used to farm these pretty effectively, which was on Buried City. Also make sure you do this during a night raid or other major map condition to take advantage of that 2x multiplier. But I basically just camped out in this tight alleyway between these 2 buildings. That being said, it probably doesn't need to be this exact spot to do this. I'm sure you could find a lot of similar type areas on this map or others, but it gave me a really good spot for cover to get up close shots on those Hornet fans. So that's 1 down, but you'll need a lot more if you want to get 3 stars. So how can you get more to come to this area? You can try and search the skies for a random Hornet that's flying around and shoot at it to bring it to you. Binoculars can come in handy for this, but the most consistent way is to just get the attention of a nearby snitch arc, whether that's by firing at them or just walking into their surveillance area. Once they lock onto you, they'll fire up a signal flare, which will call in 2 wasps and 1 Hornet. So make sure you don't destroy them, just get their attention so they can do that. This does mean you also need to fight those 2 wasps as well, but utilizing the cover in that alley, as well as using the same strategy to destroy their fans, you can get rid of them pretty quickly. One other side benefit of this is that they seem to take some decent damage when hitting that tree up front as well as the side of the building, so if you get them wobbly enough, they may just end up destroying themselves. So at this point, it's really just trying to repeat that loop as many times as possible within the time limit. Obviously, if you can go in at a full 30 minutes, you'll have more time to do this. But depending on your luck, you may not have very many snitch nearby, but using that Pharaoh, you can actually lure them from pretty far away if you're able to get a shot off. So I'll leave you with that. As mentioned, this got me around 4,500 for this trial, but I think I could probably get that higher as this was my first time using this spot, and I also started running out of ammo. I did have a few snap blast grenades that I used, which seemed to work out pretty well, so going in with a little bit more firepower and being prepared, doing this right at the beginning of a 30-minute round, I'm sure I probably could have gotten a few more. But hopefully you enjoyed the video, find it useful, and we will catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.